From the Fox 26 studios, this is Houston's Morning Show.
Facebook taking action after being slapped with a new round of security concerns. We ask our tech expert how you can protect your information. Coming up. A few days ago, a judge unsealed a subpoena that revealed startling information about Facebook's security and behavior.
The company announced that they have suspended nearly 69,000 apps on its platform. You likely have some of them on your phone and may be wondering if your information is safe.
Here to discuss is tech expert Nick Walney. Glad you're here, because every time we hear this, the red flags go up and we're going, what do we do? What happened? Yep. What do our viewers need to know? So what happened?
Yeah. Well, after the Cambridge Analytica scandal last year, Facebook started to take action. They began to look back through and see what apps, have potentially had privacy concerns. But what we've also seen is that Facebook doesn't do a great job of regulating itself. So some state government got involved. The Massachusetts District Attorney's Office got involved, and they wanted to research what Facebook had done prior to 2014, which is when they tightened their data standards. And what they found is that Facebook knew that there were nearly 9 million apps floating around on their platform, and that over 2 million of those apps had a red flag or a bookmark next to them that they needed a closer look. So what this means is that, years ago, maybe some of those personality quizzes that you took, little things like that, they could have been harvesting your data without you knowing.
So that's about 1 in 4 apps. That's a lot that we're talking about. So 69,000 have been suspended now. Why these specific apps?
So what they found is that these apps either weren't complying with standard data regulations, or that they were just being completely unresponsive when Facebook themselves was checking in and wanting to do an audit. And so they said, well, if you're not even going to let us do an audit to have your app on our platform, that's not going to really work for us. It's also important to distinguish that these apps are apps that were built for Facebook in Facebook. So they're not necessarily apps that are on your phone, but if you were perhaps jumping on different things like Farmville and little mini games and stuff like that was happening within the Facebook platform, those apps could have been harvesting your information. And more importantly, those apps can be harvesting your friends' information without your friends knowing. That's what happened with Cambridge Analytica, and a lot of people don't realize that even if you're not participating in some of those apps, if your friends are, your data could be getting harvested anyway.
So how do we protect ourselves? Are there security settings on Facebook that you can sort of tweak and get out of all this, or do we need to stop playing those personality quizzes if we don't want to be a part of this? What do we do?
There are. You kind of need a treasure map to find the security section, right? But in the settings section, there is a spot where you can see all of the integrations. Those are things like whenever you used Facebook to sign up for something on a new website, or to log in with an app because you didn't want to think up a username and password in that moment. Facebook has all of those integrations, and you can go back through and look at some of those. And for many people, they have dozens, if not hundreds, of integrations because you've just been doing what was easy to do at the click of a button for years and years.
They realize it's all linked to Facebook somehow.
And Facebook is trying to be more transparent around security, so you can go to that section. It's in settings. You go in through the web page or through the desktop app, and you can actually toggle off all the integrations. You're probably going to have to do some logins and things like that and restart, but then you'll at least know that your Facebook profile is not floating around on all these different apps and websites. You're going to know what you're connected to and what you're not connected to.
And what do you think the long-term change is going to be with all of this? Are app developers going to have to get better? Or sites like Facebook, we know they've been trying to get better after scandal after scandal after scandal, but what's going to be the long-term fix?
I really think that there's going to have to be some sort of legislation, to be honest, because what we've seen is that Facebook doesn't do a great job of regulating data or even being transparent. I mean, they had bookmarked 2 million apps as being questionable, and they didn't release that information. And that's why this news is coming out so suddenly, is that this subpoena had been sealed. So all this information between Facebook and the state of Massachusetts had been sealed, and then last Friday a judge unsealed it. So unless someone comes in and takes action and says, look, Facebook, you have to be totally transparent about what data is going where, then I think that they're going to continue to do what a publicly traded company will do and try to be as slippery as possible in order to be as profitable as possible.
That's why we need to tighten up that security as much as we can, do our own part in it all. All right, thank you, Nick.
Thanks.